So one thing that we have brought back to school that we did pre-COVID in the last month is our saint traits. What saint traits are different virtues that we focus on as an entire school, and we our teaching is in alignment with that virtue for the month. Pre-COVID, we would do a saint trait for every single month. Teachers would be reading books about the saint trait or the virtue in their classroom. We did whole school assemblies every single month in the gym where we all came together and practiced that virtue. And with COVID, we put a halt to that, and we really just focused on this. We can do hard things is what we focused on this year. After Christmas, we came back and just felt like that virtue teaching, the intentionality of teaching a specific virtue was really missing. So for the month of March, we started this back up, and our virtue for March was self-control. And we're finishing up March, and we are now starting April on Thursday. And our saint trait for April will be gratitude. Just to kind of give you a little glimpse of what that will look like in the school. And if you want to bring that virtue into your home, it really helps to have kids surrounded with that virtue teaching in the school day, and then also to bring that into their evening when they're away from school. So what we'll be sharing with students is we will tell them what being grateful is or what gratitude looks like. We'll say that someone who's grateful has a thankful heart and a grateful mind. We will spend time, again, every morning. It's a 30-second little snippet about either a Bible verse. It might be a story from the Bible. I give examples, I give non-examples. Teachers will be reading books about it. So really every day they're surrounded by the messaging of what being grateful is. And our teachings, it really helps when we can catch kids in the moment of not expressing that or not doing grateful, that we can reteach them. Or when they are doing it, to say, oh my gosh, that is a great example of being grateful. I'm so proud of you. So it's that sort of live on the spot teaching. So here's an example of what this would look like if you want to bring this into your home. We do a lot of talking about what the saint trait or what the virtue looks like. What does it sound like? What does it feel like? And what does it look like? So we try to incorporate the senses for our students. So for being grateful, here's an example. We would say being a grateful person when their parents or somebody makes their lunch for them. A grateful person will have a smile on their face. That's what it looks like. A grateful person will say, thank you for making my lunch. That's what it will sound like. And being grateful, what it'll feel like when someone hands you a lunch that was made for you, you'll have might have a sense of warmth in your body. You will might be brought to tears. Some people who have someone do something for them are so grateful and thankful that they are brought to tears. And usually their breathing is calm, and they just have this nice sense of calmness over their body. Well, then on the flip side, say, this is what being grateful wouldn't look like. So when someone hands you your lunch, you have a grumpy face. Someone hands you a lunch they made for you, you look in and say, oh, I don't like peanut butter and jelly. I don't like this. I want something else. And what it would feel like not being grateful would be like anger and tight, and just a sense of like your chest might be kind of compressed. So we'll talk about that. We will be bringing in two saints that are known for their gratitude. The first saint we'll talk about this month, which we'll talk about right away on Thursday, is Saint Mary Magdalene. Her story that we'll be sharing is Jesus cast out 7 demons from her, and she was so grateful for that act that she became a faithful follower of Jesus. And she was one of the people at the foot of his cross when he was crucified. She was with Mary and John, and she went to his tomb to anoint him, and was one of the first people to see that that his body had been risen. So that's the first saint we'll talk about. Then the second one we'll talk about is Saint Josephine Bakhita, and her story. She was purchased as a slave in Sudan as a young child, and she was treated absolutely horribly. She endured unimaginable pain. The treatment was so traumatic for her that she forgot what her name was, and the slave traders gave her the name Bakita, which means lucky. She was eventually purchased by an Italian family when she was in their home. It was the first time in her life she'd ever been treated kindly. And one day she was looking around and she saw a crucifix on their wall and saw Jesus's body and that he had suffered. And she really related to that with her treatments and looked at that and just had this enormous sense of gratitude fall over her for what he did for everybody, that he died for us. So she had this sense of gratitude. She then was transformed, became baptized, became a sister, and transformed into Catholicism. So that would be her story that we'll share as well. So hope that helps you as a family. Hopefully it brings a sense of faith into your home for the month of April.